But essentially, going back to what I was about to say is that when I started to understand that I was being lied to in school, obviously a bunch of these red pill guys would be like, oh, you're being lied to at school. When I was being lied to when I was 22, I decided to go into red pill, started to go into personal development, self-development, and then I landed during COVID, everything stripped away. Money, health, just abusing alcohol. My soul was crushed. My desires for the flesh were at extreme levels, just every pleasure that I could make me numb my despair. That's the best way to say it. I went full in on it, trying to understand what the truth was. The world is run by lizards. UFOs came down and mated with people, the fallen angels, the giants, and all this other stuff. I got into crazy conspiracies. And then I started going through the not ideal attacks by the enemy. And I was like, well, if that's real, then obviously the Christian belief. And then once you start going down the truth, which is the Catholic faith and what they actually believe, you understand that all of this was already established by Aquinas. Like, by the time Aquinas is done, the faith is pretty much amazing and perfect. Of course, there's some refinements that go along, but I'm assuming the Mass was already complete. The liturgy, the prayers, the sacrifice, the offerings, the feast days, the calendar, just marriage, courting, relationships, what you did, which was you're either chaste married or chaste as a priest. Okay, you're married, now you can betroth the wife or have intimate relationships with your wife. It was perfect. And then the Enlightenment came. The Enlightenment, which is not the Enlightenment, that is the devil's playground, started to take root and twist everything to his will. And now we don't even know. Now we're just subverted under his subjectivism and his will and how we're carrying out his will. So what time are you going live on Wednesday? We are going live on Wednesday, midday. That's going to be a good one, by the way. That's going to be a very good one because I'm going to go deep. I'm going to really prepare for that one. This one is kind of a lead up on how I was carrying out the will during my sinful ways, becoming a Christ believer through, obviously, yes, the demonic, but also crazy conspiracies that I was believing. And I was into all of it. Alex Jones, Gaia.com, read all of it, that the Bible isn't real. I was into Billy Carson. I was into everything that revolved away from Christ. All of it was away from Christ. And what I'm going to be talking about on Wednesday, I'll probably go live probably around the same time. I go to the 12:15 Mass, so I'll probably around 1:15. But that is going to be an in-depth story about my journey of alcoholism, my journey of finding Christ, and then going through, I just read it, on how many demons come into your life after you start repenting and believing in Jesus Christ. And there might be some attacks tonight because I'm talking about the truth. However, this gospel reading, it might be Luke. Yes, here it is. Luke 11:21. So this is on day 15 of the 33-day consecration. You have to end it on a Marian feast day. So mine is Mount Carmel, July 16th. So you then reverse engineer 33 days from there. So this was Luke 11:21. I know Catholics were all about the Bible. So it talks about, well, there we go. My live on TikTok just ended. And we are maybe back live again, whatever, it's not going. But essentially, when the unclean spirit, so this is what happens. When a strong armed man keeps his court, those things are in peace which he possesses. So in other words, you're a man or a woman that is chaste, not thinking of lust, not looking at lust, not getting drunk, being in prayer, being in fasting, being in repentance, being in the confessional, taking the Eucharist, being in a state of grace. In other words, you are fully armed. But if a man stronger than he comes upon and overcomes him, all of his armor, which he trusted, will distribute his spoils. In other words, Distribute means essentially to displace his armor. So now all of his armor, all of his piety, all of his chasteness is scatters. When the unclean spirit has gone out of the man, he walks with the unclean spirit, looks for water, it seeks rest, and not finding any, he says, I will return into the house where I came. This needs to be on the pulpit. I'm going to continue. So essentially, you have a guy like myself yesterday. I'm in a state of grace. There's a ton of venial sins that I need to go to confession. It's starting to build up over the last 2 months. And yes, I know I should go every month. So, Lord, forgive me. It might have been actually about 6 weeks because I wanted to confess for drinking alcohol. Even though I was not getting drunk, I said I'm not going to drink alcohol. Then I drank alcohol and I'm like, all right, no. We don't need to. I didn't get drunk, but I just don't need that. So I was armed. I was a strong man. I was in peace. Then my armor scatters. So in other words, the unclean spirit goes somewhere. The unclean spirit could be lust, pleasure. It could be jealousy, sloth, pride, envy, whatever. Just give me more food, give me more pleasure, give me more social media, give me more distractions, give me social media, give me an Instagram feed, give me something bad to talk about, these politics, whatever the case is. You understand. When the unclean spirit has gone out of the man, it's left me, it's gone. It's gone. Then yesterday happens where I am getting crushed by, I knew it was a spiritual attack. I knew it. During the day, walking around New York City, returning stuff to Whole Foods, it doesn't just happen, okay? So, when the unclean spirit has gone out of the man, he walks through places. This is the unclean spirit. The unclean spirit walks through places without water, seeking rest and not finding anything. The unclean spirits, I will return into the house where I came. And when I come, he finds it swept and garnished. So the unclean spirit goes. And then he returns, and I'm getting chills. It's kept clean. It's swept, it's ungarnished. Then he goes and takes with him 7 other spirits more wicked than himself. They enter and they dwell there, and the lasting state of that man becomes worse than the first. Oh, that, my friends, is the spiritual battle in which we find ourselves. You are now in a state of grace. You now leave the confessional. You now say, I'm never going to drink again. I'm never going to eat terribly. I'm never going to talk bad behind someone's back. I'm never going to watch illicit material. I'm never going to act on that illicit material. I'm never going to take any hallucinogens. I'm never going to smoke pot.